Hello everyone, this is Dragothien here. Welcome back to another Rise of Kingdoms video. Today we're going to be doing another Commander Spotlight. Hot damn, look at that. We're going to be going after an infantry commander pairing, one Alex and Harald. It's one of the top tier pairs, kind of giving it away a little bit, but I wanted to dive into why that's the case. And there is another shortcoming that you need to overcome to go ahead and get this pairing being absolutely devastating on the field. Let's jump into it and let's get excited about this pairing. All right, so we've got Alex and Harald. 5 categories. We've got survivability, we've got damage, we have utility, we have speed, and talents. Let's jump into the first category. We've got survivability. Alex by himself is an absolutely fantastic survivability commander because not only is he offering on his primary skill a shield, but he also has the ability to go ahead and move faster than most other commanders with his movement speed bonus on his third skill. You have an infantry march speed bonus of 30% while on the map. Now, in addition to all of those things, the reason that Alex works out so well with so many different pairings is because he also likes to bring a lot of stats to the table. So third skill, frontline commander, it says infantry attack bonus of 30%. His fourth skill also offers a 40% attack bonus if he is not shielded. And when he is shielded, he has a 30% defense bonus. How about that? And then to top everything off, Alex has that second skill giving a nice skill damage output at random, usually once every skill cycle, if not twice. Man, what an overall great setup for a commander, just well-rounded altogether. Survivability is going to be a 3 out of 5. Now, I wanted to give it a 4 out of 5 because Alex is just so good. The problem is, as Harald being secondary, he has so many things taking away from the survivability of this march. Every time Harald uses his active skill, not only his primary cast, but also when Stamford Bridge, the 4th skill, triggers, he gains 5% attack, but he loses 5% defense in the process. That's a huge, huge deficit to overcome when it comes to survivability, but it can be overcome. This is that shortfall that I was talking about. Because infantry are so tanky by themselves and the gear set that you can get for infantry is so defensive and health based, you can in fact overcome this shortcoming and really turn this into a 4 out of 5. But because of just the pairing itself, Alex and Harald having that defense debuff, taking away a little bit of that tankiness that Alex provides, I gotta go 3 out of 5 on survivability just for that case. But if you can get your hands on some top tier legendary infantry gear, you can bump it up to that 4 out of 5 stars. You just need to have a really, really good set, and that's really hard to get. So I wanted to make sure that you guys knew that. Now, number 2, damage. Damage on this pairing is sick. Few reasons why. Again, let's start with Alex on his primary skill. When he uses his shield, not only are you tanking some damage with that shield, but you're increasing the damage that your target and 2 other enemy troops in the area are going to take by 30% for 4 seconds. That's more than enough time for you to go ahead and have Harald take advantage of that 30% increase. The other benefit is that because Alex has a proccable damage factor of 1700 on his second skill, this can also go off during that 4 seconds. And not only is Harald's primary skill going to fire off during this, but what happens if Harald Stamford Bridge procs as well? You could have an insane amount of burst damage with a 30% damage increase right off the bat as soon as that skill procs off. Absolutely insane capability to have a huge burst of damage factor flooding out from this Alex and Harald pairing. Damage is going to be one of those things that this pairing really does in spades. Not only because of the skill factor, but look at the attack bonuses. We just went over it. Third skill for Alex, a 30% attack bonus. Fourth skill for Alex, another 40% attack bonus when not shielded, which is the majority of the time, guys. You're looking at having massive output of damage in that case. Again, the damage factor coming from the second skill. Then you've got Harald pumping out even more skill damage, going crazy with that. Also, he has a 20% damage increase of his own to bring to the table. This is a active skill, so this stacks with everything that we're doing attack-wise here. We've got second skill, another 10% infantry attack, but that's only for rallying cities. We're talking about open field here, guys. Third skill, Varangian Guard, 30% increase in attack. We have more march speed. Also, again, we have the stackable 5% attack on top of it, and it can stack 15 times, guys. 15 times. 15 times 5 is 75%. That's a possible 75% attack bonus for Harald on top of everything else that we just talked about. And again, Stamford Bridge having a 20% chance to cast its active skill, Harald's active skill, all over again and be immune to those defensive reductions. We've got to give damage a 5 out of 5, right? We have to give damage a 5 out of 5. You're absolutely flooding damage out of this pairing. Alex and Harald combined. So many damage increases, so many skill procs going off, all the attack that you could possibly want. And then you also have, again, Harald's expertise with the counterattack damage dealt on the map, increasing by 20%, and increasing that even further if you are surrounded. Also, the skill damage gets increased as well when you're surrounded. I mean, it's just so much bonus damage upon bonus damage upon bonus damage. 5 out of 5 stars for Alex and Harald. Utility. I've got to give a 4 out of 5 star for utility as well. Now, the reason being for the utility. First off, Alex's first skill is an absolute game changer. Not only are you protecting your own army, but you're also protecting another one with a 600 damage factor shield. It says on the first skill, it says, meanwhile, he puts up a smaller shield for the allied troops, including his own troops, with the lowest percentage of units in a circular area. Smaller one lasts 2 seconds and absorbs a small amount of damage. So you're going to have 600 damage factor for somebody else that needs it. That's really, really nice. You also, again, have all of that movement speed, which is definitely nice to have in an infantry march, which is not bad to utilize at all. You also have, with Harald, you have the anti-swarm functionality that Harald provides with his expertise, giving the counterattack damage bonus, with his primary skill triggering into a 1500 damage factor AoE, and then that starts to hit everything around him, and that also will be triggered by Stamford Bridge firing off multiple axes in every direction as well whenever that procs, so it's not just a single cast, it is a multicast as well there too. Just the utility is very, very nice. You have utility for your own march, you have utility for damage, you have utility for your alliance mates because you are providing another shield on the battlefield. 4 out of 5 stars for Alex Harald on utility. Speed, we just talked about it. Again, this is a very fast combo. We have Harald's third skill increasing march speed by 10%. That's a flat 10%. We also have Alex's skill, 30% damage or 30% march speed bonus as well. That's on the third skill, Frontline Commander. That's 40% right off the bat. You can also go into certain other things like, I don't know, talents, and go ahead and get some more march speed there if you wanted to. There's just so much march speed to get on this infantry pairing. There's not many other infantry commanders that have this, short of, say, a Charles having some significant march speed on their skill bar. So this pairing has 2 of the fastest infantry commanders in the game pairing up. Speed-wise, we got to go 4 out of 5. For an infantry pairing, this is definitely a speedy march. Now, again, it's not going to beat out a Saladin William, or it's not going to beat out, certainly, a double C Minna or anything like that, all right? You're not going to go farm killing with this, all right? But you will be maneuverable on the battlefield. You will be able to move around and cause damage where you want to. Finally, we have talents. The first build I want to go over gives you a full infantry talent tree. It goes into elite soldiers all the way, giving you attack, defense, and health 2.5%. That is 7.5 stat points ready to rock and roll for you. We also have health and defense bonuses across the board for infantry. This is always a good thing. In the attack tree, we went effortless. We also took up unyielding and armor joints. This gives us a nice, well-rounded and well-balanced infantry tree. Now, if you want to go a little different, a little more damage, but not necessarily getting the stats, you can also go with this tree here. This tree gives you a little bit of a snare. It's not going to give you the full snare like we had with the last build, and it doesn't give you the 7.5% stats from elite soldiers, but it does bring fight to the death here. Increases all damage dealt by 6%, and with so much skill damage going out from this pairing, this would likely outweigh any benefits that you would get from elite soldiers. The 2.5% attack, 2.5% defense, 2.5% health, those are very, very nice. But I think overall, when you're talking about increasing 6% damage bonus for all damage types, that's normal, that's counterattack, and that's skill damage. So let's go ahead, and I would prefer to use this build here. It gives you all the mobility that you want with all the movement speed bonuses. It gives you a little bit of a snare, and it transfers the stats that you would get from elite soldiers over to fight to the death. You still get armor joints, you still get unyielding, and you get all the benefits of effortless, which is one of the best talents in the game. This is the talent build you should use for Alex and Harald, in my opinion, if you don't decide you want to go for the stats of this talent tree here. Problem is, when you go skill, so Harald has the skill talent tree, but you don't get the tankiness, you don't get the survivability that you really need with this pairing, because if you take away Alex's support attack tree there, you take away the bonuses that he provides from that, you're taking away a lot of counterattack damage reduction, you're taking a lot of damage reduction period away, and you're taking away fight to the death, which gives a 6% all damage bonus. You got to go Alex primary here, and that's why we have it set up like this. I'm going to go 3 out of 5 on the talents. The infantry tree is really kind of underwhelming anyway. You get a lot of stat bonuses here and there. There's a lot of percent chance for this to provide this amount of defense kind of thing. It's not that great of a talent tree. It's okay, not great. Also, the attack tree, while it is nice, I would prefer to have support tree be available to use with Harald, or even with Alex. Both of those could utilize the support tree very, very effectively. So let's go 3 out of 5. All right, so let's now go over to the grades. Open field grades, rally grades, and garrison grades. Open field grade, we're going to go with S tier. The ability for this march to pump out the damage with 5 out of 5 stars, provide so much utility with 4 out of 5 stars, provide so much speed with 4 out of 5 stars. Absolutely incredible. You can't take that away from this pairing. It's one of the premier infantry pairings on the field. You got to go with an S grade on the open field for Alex and Harald. Rally grade. We're going A tier, baby. We're going A tier on the rally grade. This pairing, if you are not completely overwhelmed on the open field, can cause some significant damage even against the current meta, especially if we're talking about maybe an underwhelming, unreinforced garrison. Now, you're not going to be able to go up against a fully garrisoned and properly reinforced Zenobia YSS, or Jadwiga YSS, or Jadwiga Saladin. Certainly, you don't want to be sending an infantry rally against Amanatori Artemisia. Don't do that with your life, but that's why we have with the A tier, okay? We're very good. It's a very good, solid rally, but don't go crazy on the latest metas, especially if you're going against top tier equipment, top tier commanders, things like that. But if you're going up against a normal, non-top tier, like even a Zenobia YSS that doesn't necessarily have like top tier equipment, you could definitely use Alex Harald and get away with some good trades in that case, especially if you have really, really good equipment. And finally, we have the garrison grade. I don't know, guys. A lot of this stuff is based while on the map. I mean, two of Alex's skills are while on the map only. Harald is got rally skills that don't obviously trigger whenever you are on a garrison situation. It's just not a good look. We got to go with the F tier. Just don't do it. It's just not great. A lot of this stuff is based on needing to have open field or rally based situations be the case, and unfortunately that's just too many skills to give away from this really top tier pairing on open and rally grade of S and A there. So S grade on the open field, A grade on the rally, and then F tier on the garrison grade. Wow, this is such a great pairing. You should definitely use this if you have both commanders. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed the video here. This was one of the harder ones to put together because, again, infantry are so unique when it comes to what makes them so good. I've played infantry for so long, I wanted to make sure that I gave you my insight on this pairing. When you don't see a Guan Leo on the open field as somebody's top tier march, this is usually the other one that people bring to the table. Alex Harald is so great. Another key thing I wanted to point out towards the end of this video is not only is this such a superior damage march, but the reason it's such a superior march is because it can instantly cause damage. You don't need to wait for that skill to go off. Harald can proc his Stanford Bridge skill. Alex can proc his second skill that has the damage factor on it. You could be pumping out some serious damage on turn 2, turn 3, turn 4, and it never ends. And then you have your skill cycle to come up. So this is why this pairing works so well, especially on the open field when there's a lot of back and forth fighting. Certainly if you're one of those city players that hop in and out of their city and tap people as they're running by, this is a great march for you to do that with, to get some extra kills. Get yourself those 30 million kills on your KVK so you can get those nice coins. Hope you've enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys next time. Cheers, have a good one, and take care.